number one doctorate used to be first, do no harm. First, do no harm.
Mm-hmm.
And, we now reach the stage, particularly in the US, where there's a pill for every ill and an ill for every pill. And the challenge that I have with that is that every single drug is liver toxic. Now, there's an absolute need for long-term and short-term medical intervention. If the pharmaceutical industry never existed, I would be dead. And that's the truth, because they invented something called the asthma pump, the Ventolin inhaler. They invented things called steroids that helped me when I was 8, when I had my first asthma attack. And I would be dead without. The challenge that I have is big pharma. I'm not talking about the good people in the industry.
Yes,
there are a lot of good people in the doctor industry, in the pharmaceutical industry. In fact, I would say in the doctor industry, particularly in Europe, I would say the vast majority, beyond the right reasons. They're wonderful people, to say the least. And I don't think anybody deliberately inflicts harm sometimes on people. It's a very tough job, but I think that there is a cynical side to big pharma. I really do. And I think the challenge is that they don't want to necessarily cure, but they want to have a customer for life. And that's where the problem comes in. So I would say you don't do any harm by putting yourself on juice for 28 days. In America, healthcare costs a fortune. And when you start to break down how much juicing for 28 days is going to cost you, it's only going to cost you some focus and determination.
Yes.
It's not going to cost you anything else. I mean, it's going to be less money in terms of food that you could ever buy. It's certainly, and medication in America costs a fortune. So, I mean, I consider it the best health insurance that you will ever own is a juice extractor and a blender. I don't believe you can get better than these two items. We think we eat as a response to emotion. What I would say is that's absolute BS. And what we do is that we eat certain things as a response to emotion. I've never heard anybody say, I've had a bad day at work, I'm really wound up, I need a grape. Not one single person has ever said this. Not one person has ever said it, Angel.
You're right. You're absolutely
nobody
right.
said, I'm pissed off, I need a banana. No one said this.
You're right.
Right?
You're right.
So the thing is that we turn to refined, and that's a terrible word, really, because refined sounds like it's good, right?
Yes.
But refined, if you're talking about refined gentlemen, then that's a good thing. But if you're talking about refined food, unfortunately, you're talking about refined fat, salt, and sugar.
Right.
And when you talk about refined fat, salt, and sugar, these are the combinations that the junkie food industry put together because they hit the bliss point in the brain, and scientists have found this out. And it's a genius thing. And all of these foods cause our blood sugars to drop disproportionately. So the only thing that will then raise it again is not an apple. So you can eat an apple and you say, an apple doesn't satisfy me. No, it won't, because you're a junk food addict. Yes. In the same way, look, if you're a nicotine addict and you ate an apple, that's not going to satisfy you because you want nicotine. Therefore, we need to find a different system to get this shit inside you. And that's the point. So anybody who argues, why don't I just eat it? But they're the sides of the Napa Valley and they're sick and ill. Then say to them, well, you need to find a system to get this raw food in you. And if you can't eat it, can you drink it? And that doesn't mean that I'm anti-eating raw food at all. I mean, of course, we're designed. We have 30 feet worth of intestinal tract. We have teeth for a reason. Yes. But what I'm saying is, if for whatever reason, you're not going to eat at least 10 portions of fruits and vegetables a day. And that's minimum, by the way. That is absolute minimum, 10 portions of fruits and veg a day in order to make sure that you are protecting yourself from cardiovascular disease, from cancers, and so on. Yes. So 10 portions of fruits and veg a day. Now, I'm a realist. Do I have 10 portions of fruits and veg every single day?
No, I don't. But I'm a lot more conscious on what I'm putting in my body, because I love how you say we can't prevent what happened to us, but we can definitely prevent what we put in our mouths.